Hey guys, it's your girl Carrie, and today I'm going to be sharing a fall/winter haul video with you. I'm going to share with you a couple of things that I picked up this year and how I'm incorporating it with some of the things I have when I shopped my home, and you'll get an idea of how I'm going to transition from fall to winter using most of the same pieces. So I'm going to turn the camera around and let's get started. Now let's look at a few key pieces that I picked up to add to my brass deer collection. So if you guys are interested in something like this, or if you see how I put together my tablescapes and how I use these items in my fall and winter home decor, you can go out there and check it out. So this smaller one was $8.99 and it is food safe, so you can add food to it. And there's so many different things that you can do with these types of bowls, and I'll share those with you as I decorate my home. Then they have the next size up, and I got one of the smaller ones, and then I got two of the medium-sized one, the medium-sized ones, and those were $11.99 each. And they had another one that was bigger than this, the larger one. It was $16.99. I don't mind this dust. I'm going to dust the table and wash all of the items when I actually set everything up. This dust has been here since, since we've been sick. We haven't used this table for quite a while, but we'll clean everything up. So the next item I'm going to share with you that I purchased, it's not a deer related item, but it's a brass item, and it is an item that has been on my wish list for years. And it is a glass tiered French patisserie stand. They are adjustable. As you can see here, you have the little knobs that you can adjust the shelves up and down, and these are really expensive. They're quite expensive, and that's why I haven't, bitten the bullet and actually purchased one in the past. When I'm antiquing and thrifting, these things can go anywhere from $500 up to $1,000. So I was ecstatic when I saw this stand in Home Goods, and it was just $79.99 for the stand. So this stand could be very versatile. You can use it to, like I see on the bottom, it can be a drink station, kind of like a bar stand. You can put all of your drinks out. You can also use it for its intended purpose to put out nice little desserts in little individual cups. When you're not entertaining, this will be great to display maybe perfume bottles, beautiful perfume bottles. I mean, the possibility. And so down here I pulled out my champagne glasses. I have these Celebrate and Cheers. I got these from, I think, Home Goods a few years back, and so we have those. And then these, you guys remember, I got these last year. I bought both the brass/gold color ones, and I also have them in silver. And you can do drinks in here, or you can actually put desserts in there. So we're going to figure out what we're going to put on our stand, and it probably will serve several purposes. A different purpose during Thanksgiving and another purpose during Christmas time. You guys saw these in a previous haul a while back, and I was so ecstatic when I actually found my antler flatware, and I cannot wait to finally use it. I have never used it yet because I just recently got it several months ago, and I usually pull out all of my deer stuff during the fall and winter months. So these will definitely be making a debut on my tablescapes this fall and Christmas season. So this right here is a beautiful mug. It has a gold silhouette of a deer on the front, and inside it says "Good morning, dear." And I plan on making my husband breakfast in bed, or he can also make me breakfast in bed. Now that we're empty nesters, we've really been catering to each other, so I want to come up with something for him using that. Down here again, had these for years, but I just wanted to kind of pull out and see what's going to go with what. And here are some horn serveware right here. And this fits right in with the deer theme. And here are some brass deer head servers as well. And continuing on with our brass theme, I have this really cute candle holder. I have two of them, and you can kind of stack them along to make them longer. And my plan is to put the candles in them and then fill those with in between with a nice floral arrangement, just to kind of make it look really full going down the table. And then in the back there, I have my huge brass champagne bowl. And these can be used for multiple purposes. And I plan on putting a really nice dried hydrangea floral arrangement in there and using it as a centerpiece. Now here are a few of my brass candlesticks. I collect all kinds of brass candlesticks from flea markets, the Goodwill, and things like that. And I use them in various ways. They can be used as candlesticks, but I also use them as stands. Like this one, for example, it's perfect to convert into a stand because it has the wide base. And I use them as stands, these larger ones as stands as well. And I'll show you what my plans are for those. I am going to whip out my Dollar Tree chargers. These are still, to date, one of my favorite finds from the Dollar Tree. I did a Dollar Tree hot or not video on these trays, and I'll leave that in I'll leave the link to that video in the description box below in case you haven't seen it. Now pull these bad boys out. You haven't seen them in a few years. I used these few Thanksgivings ago, maybe like 4 years ago. These graced our dining room table for Thanksgiving, and I think that's when I did my hunted and gathered theme. I'm not sure, but I'm going to whip these out again, and I'm going to use these on the Eden kitchen table this year and make a less formal tablescape. And love the colors in here. They kind of play off the colors in the charger, but I don't think I'm going to use this charger in the breakfast area. I'm going to try to incorporate this charger in the dining room again for this year. And so I'm also going to use some of these beautiful, look how large these heads are. These beautiful dried limelight hydrangea. I dry these myself, and you know, I'm so excited. I will be using some of them in an arrangement for the breakfast area, and then I'll be using some of them for the large arrangement in the champagne bucket. And if I go over here, you'll see a ton more that I've dried out. Yeah, those are rather expensive if you want to purchase them from like an antique place, flea market. They usually sell them $10 per stem dried, and no ma'am, I needed 24 of them. I was not going to pay $240 for some dried hydrangea. I'll tell you how I got them for free. Then back here I have this scarf blanket. It's pretty big. I've had it for, oh my goodness, 5+ years. I got it from Target years ago, and instead of using it as a blanket scarf, I want to use it as a tablecloth. Oh, another deer related item that I picked up. This is actually new. I picked this up out of Ross as well. It is not in the brass family. It goes with my silver collection of deer items, but I think I'm going to put this up in our bedroom on my husband's nightstand, just to give it a little festive flair for the fall and winter. And I got this for $14.99, I believe. And I got this for $14.99 from Ross. I just think it's really nice. Here is a bushel of berries, kind of like holly berries, and I picked this up from the Goodwill years ago. As you can see, it's $1.71. I never used them. I just kept them in my stash, and I actually got it 50% off. So these are about 90 cents, 80 cents, and I'm going to use them this year. And I don't know if the color is picking up right. The lighting seems a little bit off, but if you can see this, these mugs are like a deep eggplant colored mug, and I wanted to incorporate that. I wanted to do a tablescape that had the jewel tone colors, like the deep rich colors like eggplant, mustard, like a deep emerald green, and I wanted to call that tablescape simply gorgeous, like gourds, you know, so I want to do a simply gorgeous theme, ladies brunch, along those lines. I'll see how that comes out or comes along. I've been going to a few of my antique places looking for unique gourds, and I found a couple, but they weren't in the right color shade, and they were so beautiful that I didn't want to spray paint them to match my theme. So I'm going to try to figure out what I want to do. Do I still want to do this deep, rich, jewel tone colored theme, or move into a more soft, muted palette so that I can give homage, pay homage to the beautiful gourds that are out there this season. So moving right along, this is getting to be a bit much. Let me just wipe this little area off so I can show you what I am planning for my Christmas breakfast tablescape, because I can't show it to you. It's not going to do it any justice if I don't wipe this up. Give me a sec to wipe this up and I'll show you what I have planned. Now that I wiped off a nice little area for you, I can debut what my plans are for my Christmas kitchen breakfast tablescape. You guys saw this charger many times. I got this out thrifting. So this is going to be the the charger for my Christmas setting in the kitchen. Then I picked up these beautiful plates at Hobby Lobby. They were 40% off, and I wanted to grab them last year, but they did not have them available for the 90% off sale or even the 66% off. So this year I said I'm going to grab them at the 40% off because I liked them that much. So I really like the winter theme. This right here can work, even in a, in a dining room. You can use this plate right here for many things, but this is going to be the dinner plate. And I also, what I really wanted were these deer plate. Look how beautiful that is. I love the light and airy snowy effect. It's just perfect for Christmas. So this is my breakfast table setup. And it has the brown on the edges, and it just goes perfect with my breakfast area. And then I also picked up these a while back on clearance. They have these, every year for several years at Hobby Lobby, and I think these go wonderfully with that, place setting. It's really nice. It looks like a winter wonderland, but it's still rustic and warm. It has the beautiful pine cones on there, so I think that will look nice. And then I also have this, these, what do you call these things? Not sprigs, these picks. I've had these picks for several years, and I'm going to use them in this tablescape as well. So I think that's going to look awesome and fantastic. Now I'm going to share with you my thoughts on how I'm going to use these brass candlesticks on my buffet in the breakfast area. So let me set that up for you. So how fabulous is that? I mean, that's absolutely exquisite. It's beautiful. So I use the candlesticks as stands, and I'm going to temporarily affix them to the candlesticks to the bowls so that they won't fall over. And you can use these bowls for anything. Again, they are food safe, so if you want to put various foods in there, you're good to go. But what I plan on doing for the buffet for decor is taking, right here, I'm just going to use this as an example. It's just a little faux ball, but just imagine that, filling that in. That one doesn't, fit perfectly, but just imagine this for a second. I just put in a faux topiary ball, but then if you take something like, let's see, for fall, some apples, stick apples in there. I would probably get smaller miniature apples, kind of stick that into the foliage and make a beautiful fall arrangement, because fall, apples, and all those things go together. But here's an idea of what it looks like. I only had 2 apples. I've really been on my apple and apple butter kick. But, you know, I'm thinking I can get a smaller variety of apples, get some nice greenery, and kind of like just make an arrangement of apples and greenery for fall. And imagine that sitting back on that buffet in my breakfast area. And then imagine tossing in this nice tartan plaid blanket with that on the table. Whew, a nice, elegant breakfast table. So I'm a little bit excited about how that's going to come together. I'm going to continue to play around with it, and I'll show you the entire tablescape once I get it completed. And then once Christmas rolls around, again, here's another tip how you can just transition from fall to Christmas without having to purchase, you know, anything new, using your existing pieces. What I would do for Christmas, I would take out these apples, and then what you can do is, let me kind of fluff that back up, is get, you know, some Christmas greenery, and I'll tell you and share with you in the future how to get that for free, but some live Christmas greenery, Christmas tree, or you can use faux, and then that's when these berries come in, almost like making a holly berry tree. I would cut off some of these little berries and stick them throughout the arrangement, and then now you have a beautiful Christmas arrangement. So elegant, so simple, and so, you know, inexpensive. So again, it's not about, you know, having to spend a lot of money for having a very luxurious look. You just got to have an eye for what looks really nice and really elegant and regal. So I cannot wait to share with you guys how to make very elevated, regal, expensive looking tablescapes for pennies on the dollar. Oh, and there was one other item that I just simply could not forget, and this is my bucket or box of pine cones. Like, I just keep a bucket of pine cones and use them year after year after year. I have every kind of pine cone: regular pine cone, granddaddy pine cones, humongous pine cones, frosted pine cones, miniature pine cones, and you can just use these throughout the season. And when you're trying to transition from, you know, fall to winter, you can just add in a few of these snow covered pine cones in with the existing regular pine cones, and you'll have you know, another beautiful arrangement. I'll go over with you how to you know, prepare your pine cones so you can just use them year after year. There's no reason for you to have to purchase pine cones like those cinnamon pine cones from the store. You can get free pine cones from your backyard, but you do not want to just bring pine cones in your home and start decorating with them. So I'll save that for a future video on how to prep your pine cones. You only have to do it once, and you'll have beautiful pine cones for years to come. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I gave you a sneak peek into what's to come this fall, Thanksgiving season, and the Christmas holiday season. Stay tuned, because I will have a lot of content coming up, sharing with you how I'm putting things together and all the little DIYs and things like that. So until next time, I'm going to keep calm and carry on. Bye guys.